Pokemon Nuzlocke here with another exciting Pokemon Solo Challenge video where today I see if I can beat Pokemon Blue using only Meowth. So looking at the overall stats, at 290, he really doesn't have that much power. Attack is pretty poor here, and he learns only normal type moves, but he does have a decent TM pull. Could teach Thunderbolt, could teach Bubble Beam, could even go for Toxic. Then I come up with a brilliant idea. Slash has a really high critical hit ratio, which in Generation 1 is based on speed, and with a high speed, he just might be able to pull this off. So Meowth starts off with the move Scratch, which seems to do him pretty well here in the first battle, and I take out the Charmander no issues. This, of course, takes me to the Viridian City rival battle, where I successfully take out the Pidgey. However, the Charmander does get the better of me, but I do a little bit of leveling up just by battling. At level 9, I lose again. At level 10, I managed to growl him down just enough to take him out with a couple scratches, and I head on over towards Pewter City. The junior trainer, of course, goes down without any trouble, taking me to Brock. Obviously, the Onyx is the big player here, right? But Geodude is not somebody that you want to count out, and tackles can do some considerable damage, and that takes me all the way down to 8 health. So ultimately, I do unfortunately lose on my first attempt, and on second attempt, I also lose again. On third attempt, at level 16, I managed to make it past some bites, and just, I don't even know, by a critical bite there, I beat Brock. And it was just a glorious moment. So it's on over to Cerulean City to fight Misty. So Misty, of course, leads off with her Staryu, which I'm able to take out with a critical hit bite, taking me to Starmie. Now she does go for an X defend here, which means that the damage from bite has been cut significantly. And unfortunately, I do lose this attempt. The same thing happens again at my next 2 attempts. My third attempt at level 24, he learns the move Screech, which harshly lowers the physical defense, meaning that the damage from bite is increased significantly. As you can see, 60% damage on 1 hit, and he goes for 2 tackles. Just incredible there, and Misty's defeated at only level 24. Kitty Cat is just proving himself to be very strong here. So I head on up the bridge to fight the rival, who does have an Aber that doesn't attack. So yeah, this is a really hard battle here. Still got some low-level Pokemon, so I pretty much steamroll him. Head up to Bill's, pick up the SS ticket, head on over to the SS Ann, pick up the Body Slam TM, and then fight the rival once more. This time he does have the Raticate and the Charmeleon, but they still don't pose much of a threat, and I'm able to get past it no problem, taking me over to Lieutenant Surge, where I once again get lost for several minutes trying to find the second switch. I mean, I was just searching for such a long time. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know, but eventually I found it, and I get to fight Lieutenant Surge. So he leads off with the Voltorb here, who does get taken out by a critical hit bite, which takes me to the Pikachu, who also goes down with a critical hit bite. Take me to the Raichu, who does get in a Thunderbolt. However, yeah, he's taken out, no problem. And I managed to make it up through the Cave of Wonders over to Lavender Town and over to fight Erika. Erika obviously leads off with the Victory Bell, and I do get put to sleep, and I get a critical hit Razor Leaf, which does some considerable damage, and then I wake up, get poisoned, and make it pass with 10 HP. Getting to Tangela, who does get in a Constrict, get hurt by poison, taken down to 3 HP against the Violent Plume. And unfortunately, I'm taken out by poison. On second attempt, the Victory Bell puts me to sleep, does some wrapping and some Razor Leafing, and I got to go back for a third attempt. I get put to sleep this time. Then I wake up during wrap. I managed to get a Body Slam off, which actually one-hit KOs the Victory Bell, getting me to Tangela, who of course goes down once again with 2 Body Slams. This takes me back to the final Pokemon, and I get in a Body Slam here, doing about 90% damage with a critical hit. Now the Petal Dance leaves me with only 5 HP, but I outspeed once again thanks to Meowth's high speed. And the Body Slam does the trick, and Erika has been defeated. This takes me to the first of many very challenging battles with Giovanni, where I have to press the A button to get past his rock Pokemon. So I head back over to Lavender Town and fight the rival. Unfortunately, despite being way over leveled, the Gyarados at level 22 knows Dragon Rage and all these other ridiculous moves, and does manage to take me out. But on second attempt, I get a little bit better RNG heading into that battle. He goes for Dragon Range. I go for 2 bites and take him out. Kadabra and Charmeleon, of course, don't pose much of a threat. So I pick up the Pokeflute, head back over to Silph Co to fight the rival again. Now, the Silph Co rival is one of the most challenging, actually, if you're around that level, which I am. I get some critical hits on the quick attack, unfortunately. Execute does land a Leech Seed, which ends up being the demise on this attempt because I slowly get my health whittled away while I manage to make it through most of the Pokemon, ultimately losing on Charizard. Next attempt, I make it back to Charizard again, get the critical hit on Body Slam, and then he goes for Rage and takes me out. On next attempt, I come back poisoned. He goes for Rage and then misses. I go for Slash this time at level 44. New move from Kitty Cat, and that does some considerable damage, putting me within range, and I ultimately win that battle. This takes me to Giovanni again, where I have to press the A button and successfully defeat all of his Pokemon using Bubble Beam and Slash, which is quite the task. If you don't know how to hit the A button, it can be a hard battle. So I head up the road to fight Sabrina, and I can slash through the first 2 Pokemon, no problem. Venomoth takes 2 hits, getting me to Alakazam, who doesn't do that much damage thanks to Psywave. Bad choice there, my friend. Then I let him evolve into Persian, so I have to redo that battle. But it, not that bad. So I head over and pick up TM32 in the Safari Zone. This is Double Team, which is going to enable me to use the Badge Boost exploit, which is really awesome. So I head into my battle with Koga here. I make it past a Coughing. I get to the Muck. He does minimize, and he goes for an X attack as well, which means when he hits me with the Sludge here, it pretty much takes me out. Yeah, I mean, I didn't stand a chance there, but it's okay. I get better RNG next time. I go for Double Team this time, boosting up my stats, speed, attack. So I go for Slash, take out the Muck, get past the Coughing without problem here. Luckily, he doesn't blow himself up, thank goodness. Wheezing, once again, goes for X attack. Doesn't self-destruct. I get a critical hit on Slash, and then he misses, and I take him out, and Koga's defeated, just like that. So I head on down to Cinnabar Island to fight Blaine, where I pretty much just have to press A again. I mean, I double team up to boost up a little bit, doing some Bubble Beams, doing some Slash there against the Arcanine, but overall not that challenging of a battle. Of course, taking me to Giovanni, where once again, I have to press the A button to successfully defeat all of his Pokemon using Bubble Beam. This takes me to the final rival battle before the Elite Four. I go for Slash, get a critical hit. He goes for Double Team against the Whirlwind Hero. Does get in some quick attacks, but I managed to boost up just enough. Take me to the Rhydon. I go for Bubble Beam, which takes him out no problem. Then I go for Body Slam, get a critical hit with the Paralysis. Managed to take out the Execute without damage, getting me to Gyarados, who goes down with Body Slam. And Alakazam, of course, doesn't die, but does recover, and I managed to win. Unfortunately, Bubble Beam just doesn't do enough damage here to Charizard. So I go for another attack here on Body Slam, and then I take him out with a crit hit on Slash. And this takes me to the Elite Four. So for the Elite Four, I do have a very special set of rules where I can't use any items in between Elite Four members. So I can't heal and I can't restore PP. So I have to be able to sweep through all the Elite Four in one fell swoop. And on first attempt, I make it past most of the Pokemon. However, Hydro Pump does get a crit hit from Lapras, and I do die, unfortunately. On second attempt, I do manage to make it past the Lapras, finally. At level 55, I'm moving on to Bruno. And the Onix goes down with a single Bubble Beam. I manage to outspeed the Hitmonchan. He goes for an X defend. I take him out. However, Hitmonlee does get me with the Mega Kick, and that round's over. So I make it back again at level 65 back to Bruno, because it's just, the RNG was just terrible. Of course, Onix goes down, no problem. I do some double teams against the second Onix, hoping that I can be able to outspeed the Machamp, and I do. This takes me to Agatha, finally at level 65, fighting Agatha. And as expected, Agatha's Pokemon are super annoying. She goes for Nightshades, and I lose on the first attempt. Level 67, I try again. I do get confused here, unfortunately. and I die once again. So try again at level 74. For some reason, I go for slash, which doesn't make any sense. Then I try to double up with some double teams, lose again. Level 77, he puts me to sleep, goes for Dream Eater, and then withdrawal switches to Golbat. I hit with the confusion, and that is it for that round. At level 78, I make it back again. He switches over to Golbat. I take him out with a crit hit. For some reason, I go for a slash again. I don't know why, but I keep doing this. I fall asleep. I get hit with the Dream Eater. Take myself pretty much out with confusion, and it's back to the drawing board again. At level 79, I get a critical hit on Bubble Beam, taking him out, getting me to Haunter, and then I lose to a Nightshade. At level 80, I make it back to the Gengar again, who goes for a Nightshade and takes me out. This time, I'm going for double team straight off the bat. At level 82, I'm really hoping that I can boost up my special enough to take him out. So I do get confused and I do fall asleep. I manage to wake up, do another double team against the Golbat, who of course goes down. No problem with the slash, get the critical hit, take me back to Gengar. I go for Bubble Beam, I get a critical hit, I do half damage. Then we kind of go back and forth here with some Bubble Beams. I manage to take him out, getting me back to Haunter, who misses. Then I go with some Bubble Beams again, take him out, getting me to the Arbok for the first time, who of course loses with a single critical hit slash, taking me to the level 60 Gengar, who unfortunately, just doesn't go down very easily. But he goes for Dream Eater when I'm awake, which is super awesome. So finally, at level 83, I make it past Agatha, and making it to Lance for the first time, just awesome. So Lance, in all of his glory, is going to be a challenge. Just a big challenge here. But I'm going to have to go balls to the walls here. So I try with a slash and just see how much damage I do. I get a critical hit, of course. He heals with Hyper Potion. Then I go for double team, hoping I can boost up just enough. He goes for the Dragon Rage, leaving me with 7 HP. I go for slash, and this time I get a critical hit again, which is actually not what I wanted, because in Generation 1, it ignores all of the stat boosts when you get a critical hit. So I wanted a regular hit, but I didn't get one, but that's okay. He goes through Dragon Rage, and the run's over. I make it back again next try, this time with a little bit more HP. He goes for Dragon Rage. I manage to boost up once, hitting with the slash. He heals, then I get a critical hit this time for the one-hit KO, getting a high roll, which is awesome. I take out the Dragon Airs with some body slams, getting me to Aerodactyl. I go for Bubble Beam, and unfortunately, I don't take him out. He does go for the Hyper Potion, but then I get a high roll the next time, and I take him out, taking me to the Dragonite. So I do a slash here. Of course, I get a critical hit, doing most damage, and then I get hit with the Hyper Beam. And just a bummer, after all that work, to lose. Just a major disappointment there. So I make it back to Lance again at level 88. This time I go for some double teams. He misses with the Hyper Beam, then hits me with the Hydro Pump. At level 91, I make it back again. Going for some double teams because I have to. I have to go balls to the walls here. There's no other option. I gotta boost up because I need that special boost if I'm gonna be able to take out some of the Pokemon. If I'm gonna take out Dragonite, I'm gonna need those stat boosts. So I go for it, and I'm able to pull it off here. I get a critical hit slash, taking out Gyarados. Dragonairs go down, no problem. Aerodactyl this time at level 91. Bubble Beam does the trick with a one-hit KO, taking me back to Dragonite. This time I miss. 1 in 256 chance of missing. I miss with a 100% accuracy move on Slash here. Not good, but he goes for Agility. Then I hit again on Slash. I get crit hit. He goes for Barrier, which is super awesome. And then I go for another Slash. And at level 92, I finally defeat Lance, moving on to the rival for the first time. So I'm really hoping that I can just beat him here on this first attempt. I mean, yes, it's been a long road here. So Pidgeot, I lead off with double team. He does go for the mirror move, so I only use one double team because I don't want to tank my PP from trying to hit this Pokemon. So I just go for Slash here, which of course gets a critical hit and, takes him out one hit, no problem. All right. This takes me to the Alakazam. Now, he's a decent chance of going for Recover, so I'm just going to cross my fingers here and go for it. So I go for double team because I need to boost up that special if I want a chance to beat the Charizard. So I go for double team here a couple times in a row. He goes for Recover. He fails. So I go for another double team. Then he goes for Reflect, which is awesome. Again, I'm not taking any damage from the Alakazam. Super, super awesome. So I just go for a third one. I double team again, you know, hoping that if he tries to hit, he's going to miss. I hit him with the Slash, and a one-hit KO Alakazam, no problem. Of course, crit hit as usual. This takes me to the Rhydon, which is not a problem at all. Goes down with a single Bubble Beam. Executor, again, not an issue, goes down with Body Slam. Gyarados, surprisingly, goes down with a single Body Slam here, no problem. And this gets me to Charizard, where I go for Bubble Beam, and thanks to all the stat boosts, I managed to one-hit KO Charizard. And at level 92, this Meowth has successfully swept the entirety of the Elite Four without using any items, any PP, anything. Just a strong work there, Kitty Cat. You did such a good job. So overall, really just a wonderful, wonderful win here for Meowth. I mean, surprisingly, I thought this run would be a lot more difficult than it was. I mean, I really thought I'd have to overlevel a lot in the beginning of the game, and I didn't have to. Made it through some of those gym battles at pretty low levels, surprisingly. But, I mean, thanks to, you know, basically the broken mechanics of Generation 1, I mean, with the badge boost, knowing how to use that, exploit that, get those stats up, moves like Slash with the high crit ratios, can really do a lot of damage. And of course, Bubble Beam, I think, was probably the best move that I could have got because I needed coverage against Rock type and Ground type, and you know, he provided that. So it was just a great run overall, and I really enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in to the Meowth Solo Challenge video. Be sure to check out my channel and hit the subscribe button to get notified when I post more content. And also, don't forget to check out my Twitch channel for live Pokemon streaming with some other exclusive content to Twitch, including live music. So make sure to check those out, guys. Catch you next time.